Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are broadcasting live from the Kata Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. And if you want to, go over to thehohoshow.com, you guys can check out the magazine on Flipboard, my go-to one-stop shop for everything, anything and all things news. Wow, I screwed that up. That was awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Spreaker. Welcome, Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook. And I got a fun show planned for today. But before we do that, we want to do a little bit of housekeeping. You see, I have some updates that I have done to the website, so definitely go over there and check that out. And I am just getting into actually using, the subscriber function and doing emails and whatnot on that. So if you guys are not currently subscribed, go ahead and head on over to thehohoshow.com. Just scroll on down towards the bottom of the page. There you'll see the subscribe thing, and there you go. So it'll be like monthly, maybe every other month. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing on that. So it'll be fun. It'll be a learning experience. We can learn together. It'll be amazing. Oh yeah. So man, I tell you guys what, dude. Kevin, hello. How are you doing today, sir? Over there in YouTube land. Good to see you. Awesome. So let's see here. What else do I got on there? Well, let's see. I've got quite a few different, places that the podcast is going to on the audio only. And of course, there's links in there for all of those. So, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can definitely find it somewhere over there, So yeah, I'm working on doing all that stuff. So let's see here. Ooh, over on Twitch. Oh, well, thank you. For the $10 donation. That is awesome, Billy Spiders. Dude, yeah, thank you. That's awesome. So, let's see. Let's get into it. I have got, just some things that I'm wanting to talk about because there's, I watch, several different people on, alternative media, And one of the people that and thank you for the follow, that just popped out of the screen. I hate it whenever that happens. Huh? No way. Dude, $100 donation. Dude, you are amazing. Billy Spiders over there on Twitch land. That is amazing. I have no idea if that's actually accurate or not. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, if it is, that's cool. Let's see here. Let's get into it. But yeah, guys, there's been some, some things coming out, that are definitely needing to start paying attention to. I mean, definitely need to start paying attention to, because guys, I'll tell you what, the Democratic Party right now is absolutely running scared. I mean, definitely running scared because, think about this, guys. 2016 elections it really didn't go over so good for the, for the Democratic Party. They threw the best at President Trump and it just didn't work out for him. And now these guys are running scared. So, I mean, in all honesty, with this whole non-impeachment, impeachment inquiry, that's kind of what I think it more or less amounts to, is that the Democratic Party is running scared. They don't know what to do because they don't have anybody as a current candidate that can stand up to President Trump. I mean, think about it. Ted Cruz couldn't do it. And this man argues for a living. It's what he does. He used to argue in front of the Supreme Court. The man knows what he's talking about. And you really think that Joe Biden is going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with President Trump? It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, in all honesty, that's what I think this whole impeachment inquiry thing is. This thing isn't necessarily a witch hunt, but it's more opposition research to try to dig up everything that they possibly can to discredit Trump and hopefully deter voters away from voting for him in 2020. Let's look at some of the things that's going on. So the Democratic Party, they've got So you got the sorry about that. But you've got the Democratic Party, they are doing these, with I think three different committees that are involved in this, okay? And they are not actually going and doing they haven't voted to do, an official impeachment inquiry, okay? So that's number one, okay? So think about it. For the first 3 years, all they've been doing is investigating President Trump, and that's the extent of it. That's all they've been doing, investigating him, okay? Haven't been able to find anything to really kick him out of office, which they have been trying to do. They've been trying to do the whole impeachment thing since he got in the office. Hasn't worked out for him yet. 3 years into his first term, only 1 year left. And it's unprecedented to actually do an impeachment inquiry on a president like that. Most of the time they just, okay, let's reveal what he's done, and come the next election, he'll get booted out. They got 1 year left. This has never happened before. This is unprecedented. Okay. And again, they're not doing an official impeachment inquiry. They haven't done it. They're not doing it, because if they make it official, then they'll actually have to vote on it. And then the Republicans that are kind of, dependent upon his vote may not actually get reelected. There is that possibility. And so they're doing this unofficial impeachment inquiry. Now, here's a couple of things on here as well that is a little on the shady side. See, I've watched this, video that was done by Dan Kershaw, and he did... they were looking to try to get some of the documentation, the different witness testimonies. They're trying to get this information because, according to House rules, these things are supposed to be available to everybody in the House of Representatives, not just, the people that are in the committee. So he went down there to records, and they would not show him anything. They wouldn't show him anything at all. Nothing, So he was also talking with some of the other members that are in the committee, because in these committees, these aren't just Democrat-only committees. These are Democrat and Republicans. But there are people that are in these committees that haven't had access to these documents either. They're holding them. Why are they holding on to them? I don't know. The whole thing seems pretty fishy to me, to be completely honest with you. Dave's Fit Life over there in YouTube land. Good to see you over there. He says, I am working and I will be listening. Well, that's awesome, sir. I appreciate the listen. Epic MC wins. He says, why? Why what? What do you mean? What do you mean? So, let me get my train of thought back in there. So, they're doing the they're not letting out these documents. They're not, letting it all clear, and think back a little bit to the whole whistleblower thing. Okay. At first, there was a lot of people that are like, oh, we want this information to be revealed. We want to know what's going on. But, after everything started, the information started to get out there and started to leak, they shut that whole thing down. It's like, oh, he's not going to actually testify. It's like, well, what do you mean? Is it because that he's not going to actually be able to stand up to cross interrogation? That too much is going to be revealed about the full involvement of the Democratic Party to this whistleblower? Is that part of it? I think that there's a very good possibility it is. Okay. But here's kind of an aspect about why the Democratic Party truly is running scared with the 2020 elections. Okay. Last week, at least I think it was last week, they had President Trump had a rally in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Now these numbers, I tell you what, these numbers are absolutely huge, guys. I tell you what, these numbers are huge. There was like 51 or 54,000. I forget exactly what it was, either 51 or 54,000 of identified registered voters at this rally. Okay. Keep that number in mind, either 51 or 54,000 identified registered voters that was at this rally in Dallas, Texas. Now, here's why this is huge. There's a couple numbers I got for you guys. 11% of that 51,000, 11%. No, I'm sorry. Let me give you first a different number. 12%. 12% of that 51,000 were people whom hadn't voted in the past 4 major election cycles. Okay? 12% hasn't voted in the last 4. 11% were Hispanic. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Of that 51,000 people that were identified registered voters, 21.4% of them were registered Democrats. Holy crap. And the Democrats are trying to tell you that, especially with Texas, that this is a purple state that is, it's going to be having this big this big blue wave, Republicans done is going to turn the state, and there's no way that President Trump can win in 2020 without Dallas or without Texas. It's like, we're not seeing that though. We're not seeing that because it seems like the American people are really starting to open their eyes and see this charade and see this game for what it truly is. That the Democrats are scared. Holy crap. Okay. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. The Democrats are definitely scared out of their mind. They have no idea what to do. And it was funny, too, because, watching another person in new media, he was saying that the only thing that the Democrats had to do was not be crazy, and he's right. But even still, the only person that really seems like he's got, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the only one that seems like he's got his head on his shoulders, is Joe Biden. But there ain't no way he's going to be able to stand up to Trump. They're actually looking for other candidates and begging other people to actually throw their hat into the ring. That it's like, dude, guys, come on. This is a huge fail. Huge fail. So, Let's see here. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to, well, what did you do? Okay. And when we return, we're going to step into one of my favorite things to debate, favorite things to talk about, really. You know, not that's some gun control. Because there's been some things that has popped up, some things that have happened in, you know, in the courts that really, really give me a reason for pause. I mean, definite huge reasons for pause, guys. So just a couple minutes and we will be right back. All right, welcome back, ladies and gents. So, we're talking about the whole gun debate thing. Okay, that's where we're going to now. So, unless you guys have been just completely unplugged of what's been going on, I'm sure that every one of you guys has heard about Beto O'Rourke, whatever his name is, talking about the mandatory gun buyback. Okay, mandatory gun buyback. Now, here's a funny aspect about this. And of course, this is just a meme that I'm sure has already happened already. But it's the, you have, something that you purchased with your money, and the government says that they're going to buy it back. They never owned it, and they're going to give you your money to take something away from you that they didn't buy, they don't own, they don't have any rights to whatsoever. None at all. And whenever he was asked, what if people don't want to participate in this, his response was, well, we'll just go with armed police officers and take them from you. And I've looked at an article, and he says that he's basically going to go around about a law or something with gun manufacturers in order to take this into effect, in order to actually do it. This article from the Daily Wire says just that. Beto O'Rourke suggests that gun manufacturers will finance his gun confiscation plan. And of which case, this is something that you guys should definitely be scared about, to be honest with you. Especially considering a ruling that happened not that long ago revolving around, it was a mass shooting. I don't remember which one it actually was, but the mass shooting basically held, or the ruling was that the gun manufacturer somehow was responsible for this mass shooting, even though the mother had purchased a weapon legally. It was stolen from her by her son, and he is the one that went and used it illegally. It wasn't even his gun. He's not the one that bought it. He's not the one that obtained attained it, but is what they're basically saying is, and this is a workaround that the legal, that they had tried to use in this, was that, and it is going to trial. I guess it went through arraignment and then went into trial. It is going into trial. But basically is what their argument was that they were using advertising that was geared towards that, which is ridiculous, obviously, because they were not promoting illegal activity. But that's basically what they were saying, was that it was it was the advertisers of the gun manufacturer themselves that, I guess, glamorized guns, and that's where the whole thing, that's where they went wrong. So they're being held accountable. And mind you guys, is what they're doing is they're trying to do this in order to give them access to whatever they may have, whether that be, some type of statistics, whether that be, what they're actually targeting, different memos, everything. They're using this to go after gun manufacturers. And here's why this ticks me off. Never, ever has anything like this ever happened before with any other industry out there. It doesn't happen at all. Drunk driving is a thing. Do they blame the car manufacturer? Do they blame the car? Do they blame the dealership of where this individual bought the car? No. They blame the drunk driver. They don't blame the car. They don't blame the weapon. They don't blame the tool that was used. They blame the driver. So why is it they're going after guns like this again? This isn't the first time they've been doing this. And thank you, Picking Holes, for following. I do appreciate that. That is awesome. But yeah, again, they're doing this because they are attacking guns. They're attacking gun owners. They are attacking you as a gun owner. Which actually reminds me, November 2nd, this next Saturday, actually, they are having a rally in D.C. They're having a rally in D.C. I don't remember any of the specifics on that. I apologize. I'll see if I can't find that and then let you guys know. I'll definitely put that on the, on my Facebook page, the Ho-Ho Show, or at the Ho-Ho, or whatever that thing is. There's a clickable link you guys can go to on the hohoshow.com and find it that way. That'd be awesome. But I'll put that in there. In fact, it might be in there already. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. I have other stuff in here. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a quick break. This way I can go ahead and, yeah. Quick break, ladies and gents, and we will be right back. welcome back. So, guys, this next article, this is quite entertaining for me. Quite entertaining for me. From The Verge, actually. From The Verge, Mark Zuckerberg struggling to explain why Breitbart belongs on Facebook News. Now, here's the hilarious part about this. So, if you guys didn't see this video, there's a video out there of, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, questioning Mark Zuckerberg on, their fact-checking service, okay? And what was funny about this is she was trying to go on there and saying that Breitbart didn't belong on there, and what type of, what credentials do you guys use in order to choose who is a fact-checking service? And, one of her responses was that, oh, well, Breitbart is a white racist, white supremacist company, and you're using that as a fact-checking service, so you think that a racist company deserves to be one of your fact-checkers. And it's like, okay, well, she's actually kind of referring to like two people that have been fired from the company as soon as that type of things, they dug into their social media history, find out what these guys were all about. They got fired from Breitbart, so they're no longer even working for the company. But the funny part was, it's like, Zuckerberg was saying that it's a third-party company that they use, and their credentials, very extraneous, yeah, whatever. A lot of guidelines go into you becoming part of this fact-checker service, and of which case, Breitbart does their homework. They have to. They do their homework, obviously. So, yeah, they've been accepted. But I found it quite hilarious because it's like, okay, you can't accept that a conservative news station has more integrity with the news than what mainstream media does. Because that's what it amounts to, isn't it? A alternative media source actually has more integrity on reporting facts than, let's say some of the other mainstream media sources out there. I found that hilarious, and AOC just couldn't accept that. A hard pill that she just couldn't swallow. Oh, it was gold. It was hilarious. Well, guys, that's really all I got for the show. 26 minutes. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really all I got for the show. So, and you guys can definitely head on over to thehohoshow.com. Just click on that newsfeed tab at the upper right-hand portion of the screen and go into the magazine. And there's a lot of different, articles that I have on here that, talking about the stuff that we've talked about today. Some of them pretty good stuff. And before we go, just so you guys know, tonight or tomorrow is supposed to be tomorrow morning. Okay, so you guys need to stay up to like 2 a.m. and make sure that you send your clocks back to the places where you got them, because tomorrow morning is the whole, send your clocks, take your clocks back, back an hour. So you got to return them. 1 hour. 2 a.m. back to 1 a.m. This is the fallback season. Oh, yeah. And what kind of sucks is I'm like one of them, like I like clocks, So this is one of them things that it takes me a while, because I've got watches, I've got actual clocks. I don't really use my watch for time, or my phone for time. I don't use my cell phone. Cell phone does it automatically. Actually, my alarm clock, it does it automatically. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I tell it what time zone I'm in. It automatically sets it. It asks me if I do daylight savings time. I say yes. And then it just automatically changes. So I won't even have to mess with it. And that is awesome. Of course, just in case the thing screws up, it's Sunday, so it doesn't matter. I wake up early enough. It's not like it matters. Well, guys, I thank you all very much for tuning in and joining me for the show. Next week's show actually is going to be pretty stinking awesome. We're going to be talking about classifieds. Not classifieds as in like classifieds on the newspaper. We're talking about classified, the classified stuff, top secret, stuff like that. We're going to be talking about that. And we're also going to be diving into something else too. okay, because of the time of year that is coming around, November 5th, we're going to be talking a little bit about that because there's things on that just, and especially considering the overall political environment that we are in right now, and not only just political environment, it's the fact that politics are seeming to just soak into every aspect of our life. We no longer have a political safe space. Used to, we had music. Can't really do that anymore. Used to, we had, movies. Can't really do that anymore. And then politics seem to seep into our sports, which until then were like a safe space. It was our safe space. We didn't have to worry about politics. We can just talk about the game, talk about this, that, and the other. Now, really can't do that. Then we're going to be talking about some of that stuff too, because we're at a crossroads, guys. I'm not sure if y'all are aware of this, but we're kind of at a crossroads. And we're going to be talking about that on next week's show, the 2nd, November. Y'all just have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. And yes, Dave put in there, he goes, nice show, short. Yeah, this one was a short one. But next week, I'll be making up for it next week. It might be a little long. I want to try to keep it as short as possible, an hour, half hour. But next week, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. So, y'all just have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night. Sleep tight. And it then begs bud by it. Oh. I forgot to let you guys in on something. Next week, next Thursday, I almost forgot. Next Thursday, Halloween, there is going to be an awesome show being done on the X-Men Experience. Definitely check that out. And I tell you what he's got planned is going to be amazing. I'm assuming it's going to be, or at least the main part of the show, 7 o'clock Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Amazing show that he has planned.
In the year 2018, this station produced one of the most terrifying tales ever broadcast on radio. Bigfoot Speaks, Interview with the Sasquatch. This year, we bring you an even more terrifying tale to send chills down your spine. Scary. One night only, October the 31st. Be there if you dare.
Oh yeah, I am so looking forward to that show. It's going to be a good time. I liked his last year's show, Interview with the Sasquatch. And guys, I tell you what, I made out of that show like a bandit because I got in my possession a nice little test tube vial of authentic, genuine, lab-tested hair from a Sasquatch. Oh yeah, I got that. It is awesome. Yeah, so next Thursday. Yeah, November 31st. It'll be a good time. Definitely check that out. 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Definitely check that out. Y'all just have yourself a wonderful evening. See you next week. This has been The Ho-Ho Show. For more information, you can head on over to thehohoshow.com. And for all things Weaponized Sloth Productions related, you can head on over to WSPFM.com. Until next time.